Hello and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This is part 2 of the Valentine's Day themed embellishment book swap that I've been taking part in. Today I'm going to be creating with the elements that my partner has sent me. So let's head over to the Crafty Corner and see what we make. So today we are going to be assembling a few cards using the embellishments that I got in a Valentine's Day swap from my partner Julie. We both participated in the Mrs. Snail Mail Embellishment Book Swap. So I have a previous video if you'd like to see the unboxing of that swap. Link will be down in the description box. But for right now, let's make some cards. So I'm going to be starting out making some mini cards. There were so many different embellishments and I want a chance to play with as many of them as possible. So first things first, these embellishments are definitely out of my regular comfort zone, but they are super pretty and super sparkly. So now the question is, how do we give them a Tim Holtz twist and add a little bit of grunge to these elements? So to start with, one of the easiest things to do is bring in some backgrounds that say vintage. So here I have a combination of Tim Holtz papers. These three are from the Ideology backdrops. And then we have a beautiful piece of metallic cardstock from the Craftstock Collection's confections. So let's go ahead and put those directly onto the bases. These card bases are measuring at 3 inches by 6, simple fold in half, and we get great mini cards. For attaching our card bases, I'm going to be using my ATG gun. Definitely my favorite way to apply quick bases to cards. So we'll go ahead and do that. I really like the little flower pattern on this, and that definitely has a vintagey Valentine's Day vibe, which is just what I'm going for. So go ahead, stick these on here. And then we will start diving into the embellishments and seeing what we can alter. Now for alterations, what I'm thinking of immediately is distress ink, alcohol ink, and perhaps some distress paint. Those are easy mediums that can be applied to porous surfaces, or in the case of the alcohol ink, can even be applied to slicker surfaces and even alter glitter. So I've got a couple of thoughts for alterations, and we'll have our card bases to work off of in just a moment. I'll also be doing a regular size card at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but let's go ahead and play with these mini sizes first. Okay, and one more. Using mini cards is a great way to use up paper stashes. I had many different cutoffs from other projects, so being able to slice up the leftover pieces into these little card bases, and the matting pieces measure at 2 inches and 3/4. It's an easy way to use up scraps. Okay, so we have our bases. Now I'm going to just work one at a time right now, and let's pull in the first stash. So right here we have got this pre-assembled, really cute, kind of like a mochaccino themed Valentine's Day coffee thing. So right away, this isn't going to completely fit the card, but we can alter that. We're just going to tear that little piece off here. I think I can reattach it, but perhaps, you know what? I am going to just alter it. I'm going to take some scissors and we're just going to cut off that stick thing. And now we have a cute stitched heart that can go there. Okay, now to start more altering. So this is great, but a little too bright for me. So I'm going to grab some distress ink, and of course we're going to be working with Vintage Photo and Walnut Stain. All right, let's go in with some Vintage Photo, and we're just going to grunge up the edges of this and then see how it looks. Ah, much better. A little bit of brown and everything is right with the world. So just using a dash of distress ink, it is possible to give pretty much anything a more vintagey look depending on what vibe you're going for. There. Oh, just grunge that up a little bit more there, a bit around the edges. And of course, we have to go in with a few driplets of water. There we go. And quick dry, and we'll be right back. All right, with the ink, we added a few drip drops, and now we've got a distressed look. All right, now let's put this back on here, kind of as my placeholder. I was thinking about putting this heart here. Again, the heart's a little bit bright, but I've got a quick and easy alteration for that. And we also have these sparkling hearts. Very pretty, very sparkly, but in need of a touch of vintage flair. So to alter those, we're going to be pulling in some alcohol ink, mushroom. And this is another easy way to make a quick alteration. So I'm just going to do a drop over the top, and I'm going to grab a paper towel and some blending solution that is a little bit too dark. Wait a minute, that kind of looks like chocolate. Just a second. Ooh. I actually might leave that one, but I do want to move around a bit of the alcohol ink. That's just a little bit too much. So I'm going to grab some blending solution and I can lift a little bit of that off. That almost looks like chocolate drizzled over the top of a candied heart. Okay. So I'm just taking a paper towel and adding just a little bit of the blending solution on a corner so I can lift off just a little bit of that ink. If it doesn't lift, I can alter this further, but that worked out really well. Okay, well, I do want to alter the other hearts and give them a bit more grunge, but I'm noticing that the glitter is really absorbing the ink. So what we're going to do is add more blending solution to the corner of this paper towel, and I'm going to add the ink on there, and we're just kind of dab it on there and blend it. Let's see how that works, because I don't really need full coverage. Okay, better, but still a little bit. There we go. Now that's got just the right amount of grunge. Okay, so I'm going to do that to the other hearts. Let's go ahead and put this part on fast forward. Okay, let's take a closer look at our alterations. So these were very, very bright. You can see kind of the original color here, but we've completely grunged these up. So they now look more vintage, but they're still sparkly. So it's the best of both worlds. And this one, because when I dropped the mushroom on here, it kind of looked like chocolate over a candy heart. I decided to leave that one. I kind of like that. So I'm thrilled with the alterations. We're going to move our card back into the picture, and we're going to start the assembly for our first piece. So I'm going to take a couple of foam squares. I'm going to use that to pop this part up. And then we'll stick that down on the card and add our little embellishments. So just like that. It's okay if it hangs off the edge a little bit. That should be fine. And we're going to add some hearts. So I want to add these two together. That has a nice look to it. So I'm going to grab some collage medium and we'll stick these down. This one conveniently has some foam tape already on the back. There we go. Set that right here and place the other one overlapping it. Okay, let's see. Is there room for a sentiment that came with the set? Yes, there is. And I think we'll just glue that down as well. Just a little bit of collage medium. And we'll stick that right there and kind of overlap the heart. Definitely sweet. All right, there is number 1 for our mini cards. Let's set that aside to dry and check out the options for number 2. Okay, next we've got this one. And here are the embellishments. We've got a really pretty ribbon to play with. We've got a nifty heart. This one's already kind of more vintagey with the little tassel here. That's neat. I think for this one, we really just need to add a little bit of ink to the bow and the ribbon, and it's pretty much going to assemble itself, which is really nice. All right, this time I'm going in with some walnut stain distress ink. I'm going to use that just around the corners of the heart. That's good. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I think this one I'm just going to glue flat. That's going to be fine. All right, scribble on a bit of glue and stick it down. I really do like the tassel. That does add a really fun element to this card. And then we're going to add the bow after just a little bit of ink. So for the ink blending tool, I'm using the Ranger mini blending tool and some of the Tim Holtz dome foam. Absolutely love the dome foam. It is so much easier to glide over surfaces and provides really good ink coverage. Okay. Oh, I am loving how the bow has gone from clean to grungy. That is just the perfect look for what I'm going for. So again, we'll just take a bit of glue and stick this down. And the nice thing about this particular ribbon is that the majority of it is very flat on the back. I like that a lot. It makes it so much more convenient to add embellishments to projects. Okay, and we'll just turn that at an angle right there. I like that. And let's see. Can I double layer those? Yes, that'll work. And then we'll just add our 2 hearts. These are cut from some really super shiny paper. I like that shimmer on it. It's got a very pearlized feel. Let's stick that there. And the next one. Okay, I am happy. That is our next mini card completed. All right, let's pull in some more elements and see what we have. Here we've got all sorts of fun parts and pieces, and check out these mini die cuts. I love the metallic that was die cut from. So we're going to pull out one of the gold ones. And again, just a little too shiny for what I'm going for. But since this is a slick surface, we can go in again with some of the alcohol ink and give it a little bit of grunge. So again, I'm just going to add a little drop of mushroom to my paper towel. And another splash of blending solution. And we'll just dab that on. Oh, that's interesting. The blending solution is actually turning this silver. Huh. I've never seen a cardstock that had the first layer get wiped away by an alcohol compound. Okay, whatever. Let's go ahead and just drop some of this directly on here and see what that does. Well, why is that resisting the mushroom? That is strange. Alcohol ink normally sticks to pretty much anything. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, it kind of is there. That's really odd. I haven't had that happen before, but maybe I just have to let that sit a little bit before it wants to stick. I really like how it's looking now. All right, I will set that aside and let the ink evaporate off of that, the alcohol ink, and we'll come back and see how it looks, because I'd really like to leave that just like that. I like that. That's really cool. Okay. All right, let's move on and add a little bit of grunge to these 2 ticket pieces here. Ticket pieces are always fun, and these are in a great color for Valentine's. So coming back with the blending dome foam, adding some vintage photo ink. We'll just give these a bit more grunge. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to cover the whole thing. It's going to be easier. And then I can add some water drips. There we go. That's better. You know what? I'm even going to crumple these. I'm going to make them a little bit crinkly. Kind of like a worn ticket look. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, doing the same thing to this one. Adding a little bit of crinkle to that. Good. Okay, and let's pull in the next backdrop. So this one I've got a music-y backdrop. That's fun. I'm going to go ahead and put down this red die cut. It's got some more of that really cool kind of pearlized cardstock on it. Okay, good. We've got a foundational layer. And this was a pre-assembled embellishment that my partner Julie had made. It is super cute. I really like the wooden heart right there. And all of the fun layers. Okay. So go ahead and take that, stick that here, and I think we'll bring in one of the altered hearts. That could go there. And I want to tuck one of the tickets in under here. And we'll add a bit of glue to that. I'm not gluing it all the way down because I really like the crinkly bits. Like that. Okay. And we'll add the sentiment across the top. But this one, the edges need to be inked. That's just a little bit too bright. There. Now it's not so bright and white anymore. Okay. Right there. Cool. There's card number 3. And as you can see, by taking elements that we wouldn't normally use, it is possible to give them a whole different look by adding distress ink and turning elements into more familiar pieces that you might be more used to working with. I absolutely love a challenge working out of my comfort zone, and bright colors with pinks, definitely out there for me. But with a little bit of ink, we can achieve some grungy goodness. Okay, moving on. Now we have this. This is insanely cute. I love that, and if we just darken up the edges of this little cookie thing, we are going to be in business. There's already a little bit of shading there, but I want to intensify that. Okay. Good. Oh. I think I've got some heart pieces that would look really good on here. Now the question is, where did I stash them? That's the fun of creating. Sometimes you get so many parts and pieces, you forget where you put stuff. But fortunately, all of my embellishments that I use frequently are in convenient tins. It's just finding the right tin. All right, there we go. This is the right tin. I really should label them on the side. That would make the most sense. Okay, and on the inside, we've got all sorts of trinkety bits. Ooh. I think I want to pull that in for another one of the cards we're working on. There we go. I was looking for the little faceted heart, which we're going to alter with a touch of alcohol ink. Okay. And let's also check on that other piece that we alter with alcohol ink. There we go. That I like, and that is going to be a good addition to this next mini card. Okay. So putting the cap back on the alcohol ink. This is going to be the main focal point. We're going to place that on here, and I do want some foam squares. I think I will need 3. Good. So we'll just take those, peel those off. Now that little garland of hearts, I think I want that in the background. Because if this is going here, I could do the little string of hearts going across here. I'll just run a single strand of glue. Put that, yep, right there. I like that. And I can snip off the end a little bit. All right, then we'll tuck this here. Just move that so that our hearts are showing. Oh, sticky. Good. And we've got that little faceted heart that we altered. Where did that run off to? And we'll just take that little heart and we'll add some glue right here. Ooh, that works out really well. Neat. And can I squeeze the sentiment in here? Not really. Let's see, I wonder if I've got another sentiment in here that would work just as well. Got little hearts. Those are neat. You know what? This one looks pretty good without the sentiment. I'm just going to trim off the edges of that trim and call it done. Okay. There. And that is our third, make that our 4th mini card completed. Now, let's go ahead and explore some of the larger elements. But first, we got to clear the deck quickly. So I'm just going to sweep all these extra little pieces off and bring in the next set. For the next set of pieces, we're going to be looking at some of the larger ones, and there were a whole bunch of things to choose from. As you can see, there's all sorts of Valentine's Day goodness right here. Now, this is perfect. I actually need to make a Galentine's themed card for a friend, so all of these elements will be just right. But before we get there, we're going to be using a card base that I constructed from Distress watercolor cardstock. This is featuring Picked Raspberry, a dash of Kitsch Flamingo, and the brand new color Lost Shadow. And this is the Oxide. And that just formed a really fun background. But before we use the background, I'm going to give it a little bit of alteration with some Distress Picket Fence paint. And we've got this really cool heart foam right here, which I'm going to be using as a stamp. That came in my swap box from Julie. So I'm just going to put some Distress paint off to the side. We're going to dab the heart into it. Looks like I might need a little bit more. That absorbs pretty fast. And I'm going to be stamping some white hearts across the background of this card. So, heart, stamp. Not quite a perfect image, but the background is in the background for a reason. Oh, that one I like better. Interesting. So a little less pressure. There we go. Now I'm getting something I like. Cool. Trial and error. Okay, a little bit more there. A couple off the page. Good. So I'm just going to give this a quick dry, and then we will start the card assembly process and some alterations. Okay, we have our background dry. Now let's go ahead and layer it up. So I embossed a bit of vellum with the embossing folder entangled, and that's going to be our next layer on this card. So I just have to be a little careful. The vellum was pretty thin when I sent it through the folder, and there's a few crackles along here, but not a big deal. This is part of the background, so it's all good. There we go. Okay. And we'll just add this over the top. Okay, that looks pretty much lined up. Ah, that's not quite. Let's try again. Oof, that vellum is definitely giving me a hard time today. Alright, if I can just readjust that, we'll be all set. I'm going to set the corner. I'm going to set the other corner. Good. And let's check the side. Okay, much better. Alright, for the pieces that we have here, we've got sparkly hearts. We've got a die-cut heart out of some heavy white cardstock. Now, this I'm not going for as grungy a theme. This is going to be more glitz and glam with a shabby chic twist. So I'm going to layer something like that. Oh, that little lace ribbon piece is pretty neat. I like that. Let's see here. I think I can slip this right over. It's on a paper clip. Oh yeah, I like that. That's cool. And just a little bit of glue to hold that in place so that banner doesn't wander off. Now, there's also these flower pieces, and I do want to assemble these and see how that looks, because I'll put those around the heart. But in the meantime, let's glue these pieces down first. So again, scribbling with some collage medium. We can stick that down here. Then I'll take the sparkly heart next. Oh, wait, is this on? It is. Yes, that's on sticker paper. Yay. I love things that are already pre-stuck. Makes assembly so much easier. Good, I like that. Now we'll take this. And that's going to go across here. Excellent. Ooh, I like that for down here. This is definitely going to be a bit over the top, really busy type of card. That can go on there. All right, let's glue that little pendant banner. I like that die. That's really fun. That reminds me of the pendants from Bunny Games. Gotta remember to get that out and play with that. Okay, that can go here. And now let's add in the flowers. I'm just going to kind of loosely place these, and let's assemble these little ones as well. Ooh, I like there are some hollow pieces in here. Okay, these are already kind of oh, wait, these are assembled. Okay. Well, in that case, let's add some bling to them. Let's add some silver dots in the center. These are the droplets from the Ideology release, and those are going to make perfect flower centers. And I'm going to be using the silver ones. Okay, we can use a few different sizes. Yep, that works very nicely. I'm happy with that. Just stick those on here. Okay. One thing to always remember is to use your products across the seasons. Just because something is released at Christmas or at Halloween doesn't mean that you can't use it in your everyday makes. Metallics and neutral colors are always great contenders to play across the seasons and are not just limited to one time of year. Okay. So we've got those assembled. We'll set those droplets aside. Let's see how we're going to include these. I think I like that. If I put that in the center, that there, and tuck that in on the side. Okay, I am super happy with that. And put the sentiment here and here. Okay, that is going to be perfect. All right, I'm going to scoot the rest of the flowers to the side. Okay, so let's just glue these in place. And that will complete this card. I am really happy. All of these elements are so fun and they work very well together. So, from these embellishments, I was able to create 4 mini cards and 1 regular sized card. I've still got plenty of embellishments left over for me to create in future projects. This has been so fun and exciting, and I've really enjoyed the process of creating out of my style and making things for others. If you'd like to see a preview of what I made for my swap partner Julie, I will have a link in the description for a YouTube short where I'm packing the box for her. She also has a complete unboxing video on her channel, which I have also linked down in the description box. Make sure to check her out and like and subscribe. She's got some really great videos and some fun ideas. Okay, last couple of things to glue. Got the sentiments. These are really nice text. I like the swoopy text here, and that really goes well with the background from the Distress spray stains and the embossing folder Entangled. So no matter what your style, you can always crisscross and mix it up with different styles and still create things that are absolutely amazing. Plus, venturing outside your comfort zone can help you expand your creativity as a creator or maker or artist, however you like to see it. Okay, we're just going to leave that down for a moment, and then we will take a quick look at all of the things that we have created from this super fun swap box. And here are the completed cards. We made 4 mini cards, and they are so cute. And each of these things, we gave it a Tim Holtz twist. Sometimes it was just adding a little bit of Distress ink around the corners, or altering with a splash of alcohol ink mushroom. Over here, we had some pre-made embellishments that were then grunged up with ink, crumpled, and distressed. It is possible to take any style and give it a vintage twist. It's all about using your tools and looking at things in different ways. Just because something isn't in your standard color palette doesn't mean that it doesn't have fantastic potential to work into your own style. Take this ribbon, for example. This was bright pink, like that bright. But with a bit of Distress vintage photo, we were able to grunge that up and give it a whole new look. And even in the backgrounds, those are all Tim Holtz Ideology papers. This is another one of the cards. We altered this one with some alcohol ink and made this look like a dipped chocolate candy. How fun is that? Then, for our final piece, I made a Galentine's Day themed card. And this one is full glitz, completely out of my comfort zone. Definitely not exactly within my style, but I know that the friend I'm creating this for is going to love it because she is all about glitz, glam, and sparkle. But I did add my own couple of vintage twists. The background is a Distress spray and oxide background with combinations of picked raspberry, kitsch flamingo, and a dash of lost shadow. And for some shabby chic fun, we also added some vellum embossed with the folder Entangled. So, this was an absolute blast. Thank you so much, Julie, for an amazing swap. I had so much fun creating in a different style. It was a great challenge and stretched my creativity. So, until next time, happy crafting.